The world is on edge. Tensions between the US and Iran have reached a breaking point. Just yesterday, President Trump issued a final ultimatum to Tehran: return to negotiations or face devastating military action. Backed by a massive US military presence, this warning is more than wordy. An armada now enforces crippling oil sanctions and stands ready for targeted strikes. Iran faces turmoil at home, with widespread protests and a brutal government crackdown leaving thousands dead. The regime, led by Supreme Leader Khamenei, is fighting for survival, caught between domestic unrest and overwhelming US pressure. The stakes are global. Any conflict in the Strait of Hormuz could disrupt oil supplies and trigger a worldwide economic crisis. Allies watch nervously, while rivals like China and Russia gauge America's resolve. The coming days will decide negotiation or devastating confrontation. The world holds its breath. The next move could reshape the Middle East and the world. How did we get here? The roots trace back to Trump's 2018 withdrawal from the Iran nuclear deal, the JCPOA. The US reimposed harsh sanctions, aiming to cripple Iran's economy and force a tougher agreement. Oil exports plummeted, inflation soared, and ordinary Iranians faced shortages of food and medicine. Despite the pressure, Iran's leaders refused to yield, restarting nuclear activities and restricting international inspections. Uranium enrichment now nears weapons-grade levels, raising global alarm. This cycle of US pressure and Iranian defiance has led to today's dangerous standoff. The spiral continues, with no clear off-ramp in sight. The world watches, hoping for a breakthrough. The crisis escalated in summer 2025, when a US strike destroyed Iran's main nuclear facilities. The attack set Iran's program back years and signaled a new willingness to use force. In response, the US built up a formidable military presence around Iran: aircraft carriers, fighter jets, and thousands of troops. The mission enforced sanctions, counter Iran's missile threats, and back Trump's ultimatum with real power. Iran's leaders project defiance, supporting proxy forces across the region, but face unprecedented protests and a legitimacy crisis at home. The regime's violent crackdown has only deepened its isolation. The region is on edge. Any miscalculation in the Persian Gulf could ignite a conflict no one can control. Ordinary Iranians suffer most, trapped between sanctions and repression. The world hopes for diplomacy, but the window is closing. The next incident could spark a war. This crisis is not just politics, it's personal for millions. Inside Iran, hyperinflation and shortages make daily life a struggle, while protesters face deadly force. Over 30,000 have reportedly been killed in crackdowns. Globally, the Strait of Hormuz remains a choke point for oil. Any conflict could send prices soaring and trigger a worldwide recession. America's allies are anxious, questioning US reliability as Trump's America First policy shifts old alliances. China and Russia watch closely, seeing this as a test of US power. The outcome will shape the global balance of power for years to come. The stakes could not be higher. What is Trump's endgame? Some say it's a tougher deal, using pressure and military threats to force Iran's surrender. Others argue the regime's brutality has made negotiation impossible, and only regime change can bring peace. One camp sees Trump as a dealmaker seeking a landmark agreement. The other believes the US must weaken Iran's security forces to empower protesters. The debate is fierce New Deal or collapse of the Islamic Republic. Both paths are risky, with no guarantee of success. As of tonight, the world waits for Trump's next move. The hope for peace remains, but the danger of war is real. The world must stay vigilant.